Rated 18. Hi guys, today I'm presenting you my picks for the best movies of all time. Before we start, I just wanted to say that only movies I have seen are in this list, but they are movies that I believe deserve a spot on such a list. Without a further ado, let's begin. On spot number 10, Alien. 1979 was a revolutionary year for horror cinema, and the reason for that is Ridley Scott's sci-fi terror masterpiece Alien. Marketed as a movie pregnant women shouldn't watch, many nightmares were born in space when the crew of the Nostromo, played by Tom Skerritt, Sigourney Weaver, John Hurt and Yaphet Kotto, as well as Sir Ian Holm, follows a distress call from another planet. While exploring the ship, one of them was attacked by a spider-like creature, nowadays beloved and hated as Facehugger. And after a while he gives birth to one of the most known monsters of movie history, the Xenomorph. A fight for survival breaks out and the creature is decimating the crew one by one. With extreme suspense, shocking images and unexpected twists, the sinister movie set the stone for one of the coolest franchises of all time. Number 9. Be Cool. The sequel to Get Leo is a funny ride with a great story, lovable characters and awesome music, a movie that combines a crime story with perfect humor and some great guest appearances, like Steven Tyler with Aerosmith, the Black Eyed Peas, James Woods and Danny DeVito. The main cast, led by John Travolta in his coolest role and best performance, the always beautiful Uma Thurman, Harvey Keitel, Vince Vaughn, Cedric the Entertainer and The Rock as a gay bodyguard and failed musician. A well-written story and great ideas make this movie far superior to the brilliant Get Leo. The hero of the movie, Chili Palmer, an ex-Shylock and now movie producer, is tired of the industry, and through a few interesting scenes he finds himself in the music business, trying to make a poor girl with an incredible voice a superstar. But the business is harder than expected, and soon the first bodies are found and the situations get out of control. Have a great time! Number 8. Finding Nemo. Pixar and Disney are a great team and brought us many great movies, but the best movie by Pixar is Finding Nemo. The story about a father trying to rescue his kidnapped son from an aquarium somewhere on the Wallaby Drive in Sydney, Australia, is not only funny as hell, but touching too. With the help of Dory, a fish who suffers from short-term memory loss, he crosses the ocean, meeting friendly sharks and chilling sea turtles to find his son. The perfectly animated story made almost $1 billion in cinemas alone and is the most successful movie by Pixar up to date. There's not much to add here, this is perfect entertainment for kids and parents alike, with tremendous voice acting, charming characters and a well-told story. If you haven't seen this movie, do it, it will make you feel good, I promise. Number 7. Pulp Fiction. Quentin Tarantino is one of the most discussed directors of all time, and while some are criticizing his movies, the others love them. He is a brilliant storyteller who brings us unforgettable characters and some of the coolest movies ever. His first movie, Reservoir Dogs, was a perfect example for his talent, but it was Pulp Fiction who made him known to the whole world. Many short stories about killers, a boxer, 2 shoplifters and the wife of a gangster boss are perfectly intertwined, and the cast is on the top of all performances. John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, Harvey Keitel, Amanda Plummer, Tim Roth, Ving Rhames, Bruce Willis, Christopher Walken and many more in this movie, and their names alone are rising up this perfect thriller crime comedy. Number 6. Terminator. The 80s were a great time and many movie franchises were born, but it also was the birthplace for Arnold Schwarzenegger's successful movie career, as well as the time James Cameron became a director for the ages. Born by a fever dream of the director, the story about a cyborg from future, sent to terminate the mother of the future's human resistance leader, became one of the most known franchises of all time. Arnold does a perfect job as relentless and cold killing machine. Linda Hamilton plays Sarah Connor and Michael Biehn is protecting her as soldier Kyle Reese, who comes from the future too. Lance Henriksen, who was cast for the Terminator in the first place, is still in this movie as a cool cop. The movie was the beginning of a new genre called tech noir, with its dark scientific future predictions, the dark and dirty look, its suspense and brutal action scenes. This movie is just awesome. Number 5. The Lion King. It is no surprise that the most successful hand-drawn movie would make its appearance on this list. Simba, the son of the King Mufasa, is living a quite normal life and he is looking forward to be king, but as he is a troublemaker, we watchers know that he has much to learn. When his father Mufasa is murdered by his uncle Scar, Simba is blamed for it and runs away, hiding in a small paradise, and while he is growing up with his newfound friends, Timon and Pumbaa, the Pride Lands under the reign of Scar are dying. An old friend has to bring him back, and Simba has to decide what the right path is. The story is greatly told, animation perfect in every detail. The music is legendary, and it's no wonder that this movie is the most beloved animated movie of all time. Anxiously, we are awaiting its remastered release on Blu-ray in 2011. Number 4. Cleopatra. The story of the love triangle in ancient Egypt Rome that involves the Queen of the Nile, Cleopatra, Julius Caesar and Mark Antony was never told with more elegance, brilliance and effort. One of the most expensive movies of its time, this masterpiece of 1956 still stands its match with modern historical movies. While slow-paced, it evolves around the characters and the storytelling, the battle scenes being minor but visually breathtaking to behold. Elizabeth Taylor and Sir Richard Harris show us why they were the greatest actors of their time, and I just love the way the dialogue is written, and even something simple is fascinating. If you're not scared of seeing a movie that lasts over 4 hours, you will get the best history lesson of your life. Number 3. Jaws. This movie is my most beloved movie of all time, and one of the best horror movies ever made by the legendary Steven Spielberg. In 1976, no one wanted to bath and swim in the ocean, and this movie is the reason for that. And for some mindless shark butchering and hunting too, but humans are stupid, so it was inevitable. The story is based on a book which is based on real-life events that took place in 1912 on the east coast of America, where a giant white shark was killing people. In this modern-day adaptation, it's a small town that lives from tourism that will suffer, and Cherry Brody, played by the late Roy Scheider, with 2 other brave men, a marine biologist and a shark hunter, is going to hunt this monstrous killer. There will never be a more suspenseful story, I think, and if you see this movie for the first time, I know you will be shocked. You never know when and if the shark will attack, and if it does, the killing and dying scenes are brutal, bloody and gory. You will not recognize Steven Spielberg if you only have seen his harmless movies. The music theme by John Williams is recognized immediately by anyone, even if you don't have seen the movie. That means something. Number 2. Once Upon a Time in the West. Sergio Leone made only a few movies, but he was a most brilliant filmmaker from Italy, and he created a new genre of western movies. They were dirty, brutal, and the stories were just as unforgiving as the desert itself. For a handful of dollars and a few dollars more were his first successes, and after them, Once Upon a Time in the West was made in 1969, I think. Starring Charles Bronson, Claudia Cardinale, Henry Fonda and James Robards, with the most beautiful music by Ennio Morricone, the story about the widow fighting for her life and her land is told perfectly, with suspense and some great shootouts. There's way too much to tell about this movie, but you have to see it for yourself. This is the greatest western ever made. Number 1. So, after all my picks for the best movies, which one could have taken the pod? Well, it's the most recent movie of them, and I think that it will be no surprise for the most of you. The Dark Knight came out in 2008-2009, and not only it is the best Batman movie ever, it may be the best movie ever made up to now. Perfect storytelling about the battle in Batman's mind, what it means to be a hero, and an evil, chaos-loving clown who sees himself as a new breed of villain, and the opposite part of Batman will capture you, and you will not get up until you have seen the complete movie. The performances by Christian Bale and especially Heath Ledger, who died before the movie was released and even got a posthumous Oscar as Best Supporting Actor, are very good and breathtaking. The action scenes are greatly done, the score is brilliant, and the whole movie has some magical power itself. It's so hard to describe. Just a masterpiece. So, thank you very much for watching, and see you later.